Hey guys, Coach Erin here, and I'm here to talk to you about how to have an epic start to your triathlon. How are you going to do this, you might be thinking? Well, you're going to do it by starting your swim out super strong. So there are a couple different ways that swimming portions of the triathlon will start. The ones I want to talk about today are beach starts, in-water starts, or time trial starts. So the first one we're going to talk about is a beach start. So this is where you're going to start either on the beach or on the shore, or maybe just a little bit in the water, and the gun's going to go off and you're going to have to run into the body of water that you'll be swimming in and begin the race this way. This is not quite as common, but if you do end up in a race where it does happen, I want you to be prepared for it. So the best way to prepare for these is to, first of all, set yourself up right. So what I would suggest is the morning of the race, get in the water and see how the current is moving and see if that's going to be a factor as far as where you want to position yourself in line with the first buoy. Next, you're going to want to get in the water race morning and see how far it takes for you to get in the water before the water's up to about your mid-thigh. You want to do this because as you run in the water, you're eventually going to get to a point where it's no longer speedy to be running, but you might not be ready to start swimming yet. And once you get to this point, you want to start doing dolphin dives, where you kind of do a little dive into the water, you grab the sand or whatever's on the bottom and pull yourself back up, and you do this a couple times in a row. This is going to be a really quick way to make forward progress in the water before you have to actually start swimming. It's going to give you an advantage over the swimmers around you. Definitely practice this race morning. Make sure you know how high the water is at what points, and time it even, and count how many dolphin dives you can do before it's time to start swimming. So the caveat with this is that this jacks your heart rate up pretty high. So what I would suggest doing in the pool leading into race week is do swim sets that are going to get your heart rate high, that get you kind of acclimated to having that quick pounding as you're trying to navigate through the water. So what I would maybe suggest doing is do some 50 sprints where you hop out of the water and maybe do some push-ups or some burpees, kind of jack that heart rate up, and then practice swimming fast again so that you can get used to this sensation because it makes some people nervous when their heart rate gets really high like that. Next one I want to talk about is in-water starts. So these are a little bit different because you're going to start wading in the water and you're going to be at a point where you most likely can't touch the bottom of the body of water that you're in. And so you're going to want to be floating on your stomach with your feet behind you, and you're going to want to be sculling, which is just moving your hands back and forth loosely, that's what sculling is, to keep yourself afloat. Now the thing you want to think about here is if you are doing big motions with your arms and your feet, people are going to stay away from you, which is good because as that start time approaches, people are going to get anxious and be moving forward. So this will allow you to have some room. So when that gun goes off, you have to start kind of in this vulnerable position where you're on your belly. So what I would really suggest practicing in the pool is swimming and starting swimming not off the wall, because you're not going to have a wall to push off of in this situation. So some things that you can do in the pool to practice this are vertical kicking, where you are vertical in the water. You put your hands above your head or even just above the water, and you practice a strong kick that keeps you afloat. This is really going to give you some good kicking strength. Also, you can practice swimming where you, instead of going all the way to the other end and flip turning and pushing off the wall, or turning and pushing off the wall, you can swim halfway and make your turn in the middle of the pool, so you have to get speed up without pushing off of that wall. These things are really going to help you prepare for that start in the water. Finally, we have a rolling start or a time trial start where you are by yourself when you start and you're just going to seed yourself according to your time and get rolling. The best thing here is to seed yourself appropriately, so don't seed yourself too fast or too slow, because this is going to affect not just yourself but also the people around you. You don't want to be catching people and be getting in the way of or having people get in the way of your swimming while you're going, and you also don't want to be getting passed by people because you seed yourself a little bit too fast. So keep these things in mind when you're preparing for race season. As race season is upon us now, you can be practicing these starts in the pool if you don't have easy access to an open water body, or if you don't have the kind of start that you're going to be doing on race day. Thanks.